Ibn Sina is another Muslim philosopher of the time, and his philosophy focused on moral virtues. According to him, moral virtues were as important as content knowledge that children are taught. And he would like to see young people being taught values. He was a man of principle, he was a man of values, and he said, yes, teach the content, teach the knowledge, teach the information, but also teach the values. And view of human nature, according to Ibn Sina, was children are clean and innocent. Teach them values from the beginning. Don't wait for a child to do something wrong and then correct him. Prevent him from doing something wrong by teaching him the values from the start, from the beginning. Unfortunately, lots of parents and teachers wait for individuals to make a mistake and then try to correct them. If we taught them the values from the beginning, they would not make the mistake and would not need to be corrected. Educational philosophy was children should be taught without pressure. Children should be taught from ages 6 to 14. All this early years education and putting children to this nursery and playgroup, and you can call these things with all these fancy names, let infants and children enjoy their infancy and early childhood. Start educating them at 6 and without pressure. There's only so much work an individual can do. When we put pressure on children, they begin to hate the process of education. That is not what should happen. If we want children to want to be educated, to like receiving an education, we will have to do it for them without putting undue pressure. Who are the agents for education according to Ibn Sina? They should be religious, honest, and wise people. Religious, because remember, Islam puts a lot of emphasis on its teachings, on religious teachings. Honest and wise. In other words, a person with a strong character should be a teacher that can recognize abilities in children. All children don't have the same abilities. They may be in the same class, they may be learning the same subject, but they don't all have the same abilities. If this person, the so-called teacher, can identify the abilities of students, then he is a good teacher, because then what he will do is teach to the abilities of the students. And when a teacher does that, pressure from the student automatically goes off. Al-Biruni was the next one, and his philosophy was, in order to love each other, humans should learn and respect each other's language, religion, traditions, and thinking. Now that's great. Human beings are not all the same, but yet we live together in communities and societies, in nations and countries and so on. How do you get along? You get along when you know the other person's beliefs, language, traditions, religion, culture, and so on. And you learn to respect that for the other individual. View of human nature is the humanist perspective. We are all human beings. We should all be able to live together. Doesn't matter who we are with or who we are not with. We should all be living together in harmony, in tolerance, in understanding of one another. Educational philosophy of Biruni is he was an expert himself in astronomy, physics, botany, pharmacology, and geography. So a well-rounded individual with depth of knowledge in 4 or 5 different areas, and that makes a good scholar and a good philosopher. Biruni believed scientific work should be cleaned of magic, because remember, in those old days, magic and witchcraft and all that was very common. And so, according to Biruni, if science was to be taught, there could be no magic, no witchcraft, nothing of that sort. Superstition and anything that opposes logic should be gone. In other words, use your head, use logic, use your mind to see what you are and where you are going.